Hey everyone, welcome to the Turf Yard's DIY guide, where we show you turf that'll kick your lawn's grass. Today, we're going to show you the process for an entire turf install with Lush 80 turf. We're going to cover ground prep, laying the base, how to compact the base properly, installing the artificial grass, spraying the infill, and power brooming, so if you're in Arizona, Utah, or neighboring states, we can supply straight to your door. If you're looking for supplies, check the link in the description, or you can find our website online. We can help you from start to finish with your install. Today, we're going to be installing Lush 80 artificial turf, our most popular synthetic grass option. It's known for its durability and realistic look, and it's perfect for both residential and commercial properties. Lush 80 is one of the most realistic and durable artificial turfs available. It's an 80-ounce turf, which means it's thicker, more durable, and stands up better to heavy foot traffic than lighter options. Plus, it's UV stabilized, so it resists fading under the sun. It withstands Arizona summers and Utah winters very well. Whether you're replacing old turf or putting in new artificial grass, Lush 80 will give you a lush, vibrant lawn that looks and feels just like natural grass, without all the maintenance. Let's walk through the steps for installing it at your home. Step 1 is prepping the ground. Since we're working with a brand new house without any existing grass, there's nothing to remove. But for those of you replacing natural grass, you'll want to start by clearing away the grass, any debris, rocks, and any weeds. This is crucial to give your turf a clean area for the base material. You want to make sure the surface is pretty level before moving forward or sloped in the direction you're wanting. If you've got poor drainage, adding extra layers of base material in low spots will help water flow away from the turf, preventing pooling underneath. Next, we're going to lay down the base layer. In Arizona, we use a material called quarter minus, which consists of crushed granite or crushed rock. In Utah, it's called crusher fines or 3/8 minus. It's the ideal material for creating a stable base and improving drainage. Aim for about 3 to 4 inches of quarter minus for your base layer. If you need to determine how much base you need, just go to our website to find the rock calculator. Then type in your square footage and it'll tell you exactly how many tons you're going to need. Take your time with this step. A well-prepared base ensures a level and long-lasting installation. Use a landscaping rake to spread the material and create a gentle slope, ideally away from any buildings, to help with water runoff. Now it's time to compact the base. Use a plate compactor for this step. It's used to compact the crushed aggregate and create a firm, level surface. We want to make sure the base is compacted firm. As you compact, get a hose and wet it down. Don't wet it too much that water puddles up, but enough that the water is wetting the base. Then compact it with a motorized plate compactor. This will ensure that it gets compacted enough and go over all the areas a few times. Along the edges, you can use a hand compactor and do it manually. Plate compactors are available for rent at our stores. Just give us a call to reserve it. Now, we need to measure the area. Keep in mind the turf blade direction in this step when measuring. All the turf blades should be going the same direction. Get accurate measurements to avoid waste and ensure the turf fits perfectly. When you have your area laid out and you know where you're going to lay the grass, the rolls come in either 12-foot or 15-foot widths. Lush 70 is our only 12-foot width product. Lucky 77, Lush 80, and Lush Primo all come 15 feet wide. In order to account for a little waste on the seams, give yourself about 6 inches of wiggle room. So, in our case, we'll measure 14 feet 6 inches and make a mark on the ground. Keep going across the area until you've got it all measured. You measure 14 feet 6 inches to allow a 6-inch overlap to create the S-seam. If you're doing a straight seam, you can get away with a little less overlap. We have a very useful turf calculator on our website if you need help figuring out how much turf and material you'll need for your project. The link is in the description, so go check it out. Now that we have our measurements, roll out the turf and mark your cuts. Use a sharp utility knife to carefully cut along the backing. It's always better to cut slightly larger than you need. You can always trim any excess once the turf is in place. Pro tip: cut from the back of the turf, where the grid backing is visible, will help you get straighter, cleaner lines. A sharp blade also helps prevent fraying along the edges. Once the turf is cut, it's time to lay it out over the base. Let it sit for a while to relax in sunlight and when it's warmest. This helps eliminate any creases or wrinkles that might have formed during transportation. Again, make sure the grass blades all face the same direction when you lay down your pieces. This is a crucial step that's often overlooked. If the blades are facing different ways, your turf will look different and have a different color based on the way the sun is hitting the blades. This is important to maintain a consistent, natural look. Ideally, you want the blades to face toward the house if in a backyard or toward the street if it's in the front to ensure the best visual appearance. As you're planning your turf installation, it's important to consider the surroundings, especially if you have windows that might reflect sunlight directly onto the turf. While Lush 80 is UV stabilized, concentrated sunlight rays like window reflections or reflections off shiny objects will cause turf to scorch or burn. To prevent turf burn, check the placement of your windows and the direction of their reflections. If windows are showing a reflection onto the turf, consider installing window screens or applying UV protective film, or even using shading to block the direct sunlight. This will protect your turf and keep it looking great for years to come. Next, it's time to cut around obstacles like trees, lighting, or walkways. Use a sharp utility knife for clean, precise cuts. Take your time here. It's all about making sure the turf fits seamlessly around these features. Stretching the turf is one of the most important steps to avoid wrinkles. Use a carpet kicker or simply stretch it manually to get rid of any wrinkles or bumps. Stretch the turf from the center of the area outward. This ensures that the tension is distributed evenly across the entire surface, which will help prevent any sagging or bunching later on. Now that we have one section of turf in place, we can seam our next piece. Seaming the turf is a critical step. In this video, we use the S-seam method to help ensure an invisible seam. This allows the turf to fit together like a puzzle without any visible seams. Once the cuts are made, we nail the pieces down along the seam to keep everything secure. It's a technique that holds up well, especially in Arizona's hot summers and mild winters. Once the turf is stretched, it's time to secure it with nails or turf staples. Place them about every 3 to 5 inches along the perimeter to keep everything in place. Another pro tip: drive the nails just so that the head of the nail rests on the turf. If the nail is driven too far into the ground and begins to pull the turf down with it, the head of the nail will cause dimples or divots that can be seen. Also, make sure no turf blades are getting pinned down by the head of the nail. Don't worry about seeing the nails or feeling them. The last step of applying infill will cover up these nail heads. Finally, we apply the infill. This helps support the blades of grass to stand upright. Adding this ballast weight keeps everything in place and ensures that your turf looks natural. Use a drop seed spreader to distribute the infill evenly, and then brush it into the fibers with a power broom. Power brooms are always recommended and do the best job. At our stores, we have power brooms for rent at affordable rates to make sure your install turns out looking the best. If you don't have access to a power broom, a push broom can work as well. You'll just need to work the infill in and try and brush evenly. Apply the infill evenly across the surface, going over the area twice to ensure proper coverage. You can purchase infill at one of our turf yard locations. And there you have it, a lush, low-maintenance lawn that's built to last for years. If you guys are looking for a supplier or have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us at theturfyard.com or give us a call. To contact the Turf Yard in Utah, call or text 385-335-9042. To contact the Turf Yard in Arizona, call or text 480-910-2440. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more DIY tips on your artificial grass.